The Special Tribunal has stopped the controversial Eastern Cape scooter tender in its tracks. That's while the Special Investigating Unit continues its probe of the 10.1 million rand contract. The tribunal sitting commenced this morning. The SIU has been granted an order interdicting the Eastern Cape Health Department from paying the company manufacturing the scooters. Let's talk now to eNCA's Aviwe Mtila, who's been tracking that particular sitting virtually and listening in. Aviwe, let's start with the halt in as far as the payments that are supposed to happen between FabComp, the company, and the Eastern Cape Health Department. What exactly has transpired in the Special Tribunal?
Well, that payment has been halted, Bratulas. It was a very short sitting, in fact, at the Special Tribunal this morning, which we had virtually. In fact, the MEC Sindisiwe Komba, alongside the SG of the Department of Health in the Eastern Cape, Dr. Mbengashe, the SFO, beg your pardon, the CFO, as well as FabComp, the company that was supposed to receive that 10.1 million rand tender, was supposed to be part of the proceedings today, but they had a written response just last night indicating that they'd abide by whatever decision that was taken in that Special Tribunal sitting today. But the decision that came out there between the SIU, the applicants of this who approached the Special Tribunal, basically the decision was an order was given to halt the awarding of that tender, the money being handed over basically, while the investigations are still ongoing. In a conversation that I had with Salbi Mokhota, who is the spokesperson of the Special Tribunal, he indicated that that payment was nearly in its final stages. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Payment of 10 million has not yet been effected, but it was almost on the brink of being effected. So this order that we granted as a special tribunal today stops that, or the order is effective. I'm sorry, the contract is effectively set aside. The second part of the application, which will be ventilated in court later, is the allegations of procedural irregularities in as far as the order is in as far as the contract is concerned. The applicant has indicated to us that there are still investigations, and their view, their bone of contention was that should the 10.1 million be paid to the service provider or the contractor in question, the state would suffer irreparable financial harm. They came to the court, the applicant, they set out the case, and they got an order to that effect. The respondents withdrew their opposition at the last minute, and they wrote to us to say they will abide by the court order. So they did not. They withdrew their application to oppose the initial application by the SIU.
Yeah, I can't disagree with Selby there, Aviwe, that stopping the payment is better than trying to now recoup the monies long after they've been paid. At least in this particular instance, the payment has been stopped, pending, of course, the investigations and the final settlement of this particular issue. And if indeed FabComp is entitled to be paid, well, then that will be fair and fine at a later stage. But Selby talks about irregularities in the tender itself. We've seen statements from the Minister of Health a few weeks ago about the suitability of those scooters for patient transportation. What has the court said in its findings around irregularities?
The suggestions are that the regulations weren't followed. Another conversation that we delved in fact, with Salbi Makhoto there, who seems to suggest that the tender process was done hastily in order to favor FabCorp, the company that was supposed to receive that 10.1 million rand tender. The allegations then further in the SIU's investigations upon the Department of the Eastern Cape finding out, the Department of Health, they're finding out that the SIU was looking into this issue. Then the Department of Health tried to amend, in fact, the contract itself to suit the needs, in fact, and to award FabCorp, the company that was supposed to receive this tender. Another issue that we delved into with Salbi Makhoto. Let's listen in on that as well.
The prima facie evidence is that there are allegations of irregularities. The contract was awarded in an irregular manner, in an unlawful manner, in a manner that violates or contravenes Section 217 of the Constitution, the Public Finance Management Act, as well as Treasury regulations. Part of the allegation in the court papers is that these procedures were not followed. There was just a haste to award this contractor. But now, when it emerges that the SIU was conducting the investigation, the department is alleged to have then moved towards modifying the contract. We do not know what their intention to modify was, but the ultimate objective was to ensure that the contract remained within the service provider, who happens to be the fourth respondent and the last one to withdraw the application to oppose.
All right, Aviwe, thank you for that. It will be interesting to hear what the Department of Health in the Eastern Cape has to say about this matter, as well as the Premier in the Eastern Cape will have to say about this matter. But for the SIU, I say, as they say on social media, go deeper, SIU. We can't anymore.